Cancer diagnoses are becoming more common among adults under the age of 50.
Recent announcements from Olivia Munn and Kate Middleton, both bringing more attention to this disturbing trend. Dr. Abby is here from Sharp Steely to talk more about this. Doctor, good morning.
Good to see you.
Let's talk about what kinds of cancer are getting diagnosed. We know that Olivia Munn said what she had, but Kate did not. But in terms of under 50, what are we seeing?
Yeah, so there are really some stunning numbers that have come out over the past few years when it comes to early onset cancer. So something like 80% increase in the incidence of cancers that are diagnosed over the last 3 decades in people under the age of 50. And in terms of the types that we see, increases in breast cancer, colorectal cancer here in the United States have been reported. And of course, it's very concerning because it seems like we're going backwards. We should be advancing,
right?
But we're going backwards. So it's concerning.
My obvious question is why?
So it's a complex, it's complex in terms of figuring out why. We know that there are factors that we see, which are things like eating more processed food, eating more red meat, not being physically active, alcohol, smoking, but we don't want to essentially stereotype people that have cancer and say, oh, this is why you have this, because that's just not true. But we know that there are ways that we can prevent this, so we should be thinking about that.
So the specific age group that you're talking about, you're saying younger than 50, but is it like 30 to 49, or what age group are we talking about?
So it varies, and so the study that was done in the British Medical Journal of Oncology showed that the incidence has gone up in people from 14 to 49. So it's a wide range of ages, but of course it's concerning because we used to see these cancers in people over the age of 50, but when you look over time, we have seen these increases that are obviously happening, and they're actually predicted to possibly get worse over time too. So it's a concern.
Is this mostly in the U.S. that we're seeing?
So we're seeing these incidences in the U.S. as well. Our American Cancer Society has reported that, but we're seeing it globally too. So these trends we're seeing all over the world. When you slice it by the kinds of cancer, it's actually different in terms of where you're seeing increases. So for example, here in the US, in in the southern states, we see incidences of lung cancer possibly associated with increased rates of smoking. So it's important to keep all of this in mind and know that there are ways to prevent it wherever you are, and we need to start to talk about that.
Seems all the research, all the awareness for decades now, and it doesn't seem to be working, or does it affect men and women equally, or is it something everybody pretty much needs to be aware of?
So, it is actually working when you look at cancer mortality, because we have seen that we've had improvements in the rates of people that are dying from cancers, and we know that that has been attributed to decreased smoking rates and early screening. So remember that early detection saves lives, that's important. But to answer your question, Raul, yes, we do see, unfortunately, that women have a higher incidence because of that rate of breast cancer increase. So that's something that we always want to pay attention to. And remember that the screenings have changed, right? So over the last few years, we've started to screen people earlier for colorectal cancer over the age of 45 if you're average risk, and also at 40 and over if you are of average risk for breast cancer.
This is so based on statistics and studies, obviously, but does it play a role statistically in that more and more people are aware, more and more people are getting tested, where maybe 20, 30 years ago you wouldn't find these numbers because nobody's going to the doctor and getting checked out?
Potentially. It could be part of the reason why, just in general, but we are seeing that it certainly has to play. What has to play a role, of course, is the fact that we have had changes in terms of our diet. We're not necessarily as active. We've seen people sort of, incorporate these bad habits, unfortunately, because of convenience and all of that. So it's important to realize that. But for example, the actress that you were mentioning, Olivia Munn, she made a very important point, which is that you should know your risk, right? Know if you're average risk versus non-average risk based on family history and all of these things, because that may change things. So it's important too.
Are there any signs? I mean, I know that we're talking about a wide range. For women, I know that we're saying early detection for any cancer at this point, but is there anything in particular we should be looking out for, and then go ahead and see the doctor?
Absolutely. So it's important that if you notice anything out of the normal, right, that you should report this to someone. And that's one of the challenges in younger people. A lot of younger people may ignore these symptoms, unfortunately, because they think, oh, I'm fine. But if you have a change in a pattern, like all of a sudden you're noticing blood in your stool, all of a sudden you're really constipated, you notice a new mass in your breast, don't ignore that. You should definitely talk to someone. And then also remember, I keep going back to this point because it's important, family history matters.
Yes.
Get screened yourself, because that can actually inform us about your children's risk, right? You know, if you don't get screened, then that actually may lead to your children not knowing that they need to be screened sooner. So, and then know your family history, because that helps us as doctors determine if you need to be screened sooner. All of this is very important too.
And the key here, I think, is that there are so many factors. You can't pinpoint one reason you did this and you got it. Anything people can be doing now, you mentioned eating better, the preservatives are horrible, exercising and that kind of thing. What can we do in terms of lifestyle to maybe remedy this, to maybe kind of put a stop to it?
Yeah, so all of those things, just like you mentioned, you know, eating more fruits and vegetables, exercising, watching stress levels, and then getting vaccinated. That's important too, right? Because vaccines actually, for example, with the HPV vaccine, does help to prevent, prevent rather, cancer, and that's really important. So remembering that it's important to do that, have a relationship with a doctor, that's really an important thing to do too. And if you have any new symptoms or anything you're concerned about, don't ignore it. Tell someone.
All right, Dr. Abby from Sharp Reef Sealy, thank you again.
Good to see you.
Appreciate it.